Directors, it's Dwayne Huff with Band Leadership Seminars. And here's a question. How do you get your students, especially your younger students, your underclassmen, to buy into your program? I'll answer that question in this live video. And before I forget, if you haven't yet, run over to bandleadershipseminars.com, go to the resources tab. I've created a very special resource for helping you select, vet, and prepare your brand new leaders and your returning leaders. It's called the Leadership Preparation and Selection Quick Starter Kit. And it's only $27. It's got two videos in there. One is what is leadership? The other one is why is leadership important? So if you want details on that, go to bandleadershipseminars.com and click on that resources tab. I got a video that will explain everything. But let me jump in here and answer this question because this one just came up recently. Every time someone enters or joins the private Facebook group, and you can look this up on Facebook if you'd like, Band Leadership Inner Circle. Whenever they request entry in there, there's 3 questions that they fill out. And so I'm pulling questions from that specific group to share with you and to add some value to them and to you as well. But here's a question that came up. One of the questions I ask these band directors that come into the Band Leadership Inner Circle is, what's your number one question about developing your student leaders? And this band director said, how do you get students, especially young students, to buy into the program? And I don't want to just dissertate here. I want to hear your thoughts. Even I know most of you are still teaching right now when I'm recording this, but I'm leaving this as an asset that will serve you on my Facebook page for time and time to come. So I know you'll probably be watching the replay, and if you are, just drop your comments or your questions in here if you need clarification, or if you have wisdom and insight. This isn't just about me. I'm trying to serve you guys, but it's also about you serving each other. So if you have some wisdom, some experience, even if you don't agree with what I'm saying here, that's totally cool. Jump in. Let's have a conversation. But how do you get those students, especially your younger students, to buy into your program? And there's an old adage that I'll share with you that I've heard time and time again from some of my mentors in the leadership space, and it's this. People support what they help create. People support what they help create. And 2 people I can credit with that statement is John Maxwell, probably the leading leadership authority in the world, and another mentor of mine, Brendon Burchard. People support what people help create. Here's what that means. Obviously, as the band director, you have the vision, you have the responsibility, you pick the music, you pick the show. But you well know that the teenagers that are in your band, or the middle schoolers, if you have a middle school band, are very creative-minded people, and they love to participate, and they love to get involved, and they love to express their ideas, or they like to ask questions, right? Or they like to put their stamp of approval on things, and that's totally natural as human beings. If you can find a way to bring them into the creative process for what the show, the season, the drill, the music is going to be, the more you can do that, the more invested they become. Now, there's a pitfall that you have to watch out for, but just remember that people support what people help create. And many times students don't buy in because they feel like they're being dictated to, and nobody's explaining why. There was a research done in a book called Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion, and they wanted to see what compliance looked like when people were demanded, requested, or suggested to do something and just told to do it or asked to do it. And they found that when there was no reason given, that only 10% of the time would people tend to comply. But the minute somebody would give a reason, here's why, here's because, that compliance shot up 90%. So anytime you can explain, give a reason, show evidence, or pull back the curtain for your band students, the buy-in is going to increase significantly. But then let's talk about how you can bring them into the creative product process so they have skin in the game and they want to be a part of your program and they do buy in, right? First and foremost, you have to paint the vision clearly. But I would suggest to you to also co-create the vision with your students. Here's what I mean by that. You and I both know that you have responsibility, you have the show, you're going to call the shots, and you're the one in authority. But how fun would it be to have a creative brainstorming session with your students to see their creative and fun ideas that might enhance the quality of your performance, your show, the drill, even the music, right? And here's how I would set that up to avoid that said pitfall. First, sit them down in a big group. You can start with your leadership team, right? By the way, if you're looking to prepare and develop and select and vet your leaders, I got a great resource on my website, bandleadershipseminars.com. Go to the resources tab, click there. There's a video that explains the whole thing. But sit them down and say, okay, guys, listen, I'm going to share with you what the show, the music, the ideas that I have for the season coming up here. But I also understand how important it is to involve you guys. Now, listen, here's what I'm going to ask you to do. I'm going to ask you to set aside your disbelief, your skepticism, any negativity you may be feeling. And I just want you to free flow in your creative ideas, because what I know is that if we start sharing ideas and brainstorming, and by brainstorming, I mean, we share an idea, we build on that idea, it evolves into something that becomes a part of us, not just me dictating to you guys, then we have a greater possibility of reaching our full potential. Now realize, guys, we're not going to be able to take everybody's minute suggestions and apply it to our show. So I don't want your feelings to get hurt. But let me show you how fascinating it can be when one idea spawns another idea, builds on another idea, and creates something that is greater than the rest of us. It's called synergy, by the way, if you're not familiar with that term. To summarize it, 1 + 1 = 3 or more. It's when one or two or three or four or five people come together and share ideas. Nobody's judging it. Nobody's criticizing. Nobody's saying, oh, that won't work. Oh, we tried that before. But it's just like, suppose that, what if, how about, would you consider? All of a sudden, ideas that didn't exist before start to come together. And you as the band director get to guide and direct that. But the students feel like they participated in the creation process. They fully understood that, wait a minute, my ideas may not get used, but they're important to spawn the greater idea. Still, people feel that sense of contribution, right? And what I would do if I was you to get them to buy into your program is have this brainstorming session on a piece of white paper or a piece of flip chart paper. Do it with your leaders first, and then bring your leaders into the entire band. Have the same session and say, listen, you guys are welcome to share your ideas again, but don't lead the conversation. Just be patient, sit back, hang, and take notes and observe what you see, because it's going to tell you a lot about the peers that you're leading. They will feel a greater sense of investment in your program, even though they don't have a place of authority, right? So the question is, how do I get my students, especially the younger students, to buy into the program? And that's the answer. People support what people help create. Synergy happens when you let them share their ideas. Make them a part of that process, helping them to understand that, listen, just because you recommend an idea doesn't mean it's going to get implemented exactly that way, but we need those ideas. They're so vital and so important to helping us come up with things that will serve the entire group in the band and make what vision I'm carrying as a band director forward even greater than I'm seeing it right now. And that's the power that you, as a band member, bring to this band. You do that this season, game changer. So look, I hope that served. Quick story real quick, just so you know where I got this and where this works. I for the past 7 years, if you don't know my story, I created band leadership seminars 7 years ago, traveled all over the country, worked with hundreds of bands at this point. My programs, my online course, my free videos, my live events, we've impacted well over 5,000 bands in that short period of time. And the feedback and the experimentation that we do in those trainings, and also the feedback I get from band directors about how it worked out, is where all of this evolved and came from. So I'm giving you real-time stuff that I've done, gotten feedback from the band directors as they've applied it and seen the results out of their program. So give it a try with your band, right? And here's the thing. Whenever you do, I want to hear how it worked for you. But if you have some experience on bringing band members in that weren't necessarily bought in the beginning, share with us in the comments what you did to get that buy-in from your band, because that's my opinion. That's my viewpoint. That's the feedback I've gotten back from band directors, but I know you have wisdom too, and I want to hear it. So drop it in the comments. If you have a question for clarification, drop it in the comments. If you like this, please tag one of your peer band directors in this so they can get value from this message. Like this post and share it. If you haven't liked the page, please like it, and you'll see the next time I go live. And before we part here, remember, go to bandleadershipseminars.com. Go to the resources section. I got some great resources there for you and your student leaders as you choose. Select, vet, and prepare them for the upcoming marching band season. And if you have a question that's related to team building or leadership within your band, I am honored and happy to be able to answer that for you if I can. And I will do that in an upcoming video, so please drop it in the comments. So hope that served, and stay tuned. We'll do it next time. Again, I'll go live consistently starting right now, all the way throughout the spring, into the summer, into marching band season, the whole nine. So I want to serve you guys with these videos, so please let me know what it is you need. Talk to you soon. Have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.